Senator Onyekachi Nwebonyi, born on October 27, 1982 in Mbeke, Ishieke local government area of Ebonyi State, is a distinguished Nigerian politician representing Ebonyi North Senatorial District in the 10th National Assembly. Elected in 2023 under the All Progressive Congress APC platform, he serves as the Deputy Chief Whip of the Senate and the Deputy Chairman of the Senate Committee on Public Accounts, where he plays a crucial role in overseeing public expenditure and ensuring financial accountability. Senator Onyekachi Nwebonyi earned his Bachelor of Law degree from Ebonyi State University, Abakaliki, in 2006. He then attended the Nigerian Law School Kano campus, where he obtained his BL in 2007 and was called to the Nigerian bar on November 13, 2007. Before his tenure in the Senate, he held the position of Commissioner of Capital City and Urban Development in Ebonyi State, where he oversaw urban planning and developmental initiatives that contributed to the infrastructural growth of the state. He also served as the chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Ebonyi State before transitioning to the APC, marking a significant turn in his political career. In his legislative role, Senator Nwebonyi has supported critical initiatives including bills and motions addressing education, public accountability, and infrastructural development. He maintains an active presence on social media, engaging with constituents and the public by sharing updates on legislative activities and ongoing projects. His dedication to community development and transparent governance remains central to his political journey.
Hello there, welcome once again to yet another episode of the program NASS Unplugged. I am Mariam Sapari. Today on the program, I have with me the Deputy Chief Whip of the Senate and the Senator representing Ebonyi North Senatorial District. He's Senator Peter Nwebonyi. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, my dear sister, for the opportunity.
All right, sir. Sir, the budget defense just concluded a few days ago, and it has been a very hectic time for you and your colleagues. I would like to know from your interactions with the various MDAs, is there anything you would have? Is there anything you're faulting, from the presentations you received from these MDs?
Well, thank you so much, and I must commend you, ABDM family, for giving me the opportunity to air my view on some of the national issues. Like you just pointed out, the budget was presented by the president second or third week of December, and I must tell you, I had to cut short our Xmas holiday to do justice to the budget. We entertained our visitors from ministries, MDAs, and agencies to defend their budget, that is the 2024 budget, because it is our constitutional mandate to oversight the executive. And we'll do that from the budgetary processes, wherein you come and tell us what you've done in the previous years. If we're satisfied with that, then we'll be able to approve the upcoming budget for you. And I must tell you, all the committee chairmen were wonderful. Everybody worked around the clock with the support of us from the leadership. We made it to happen. And as I speak to you, almost all the committees have actually received all the reports from the ministries and agencies. So far, so good. You have been wonderful. But I must tell you, as a Senate, which is a corrective Senate, under leadership of our principal, Senator Goswell Akpabio, we've always insisting in doing the right thing. That is why you can see some MDAs coming and we'll turn them back to go back and do the right thing, showing that we are here to serve Nigerians and we won't leave any stone unturned in doing that, to ensure due process, to ensure transparency, to ensure accountability, and most importantly, to ensure value for money in our public procurement.
Now, you talked about some NDAs that you had to turn back to either go and represent their budgets or do a better job.
Yes.
What would you say is really responsible for them not, doing the needful? By that I mean, is it lack of preparedness or just sheer carelessness on their part?
Well, I think I can attribute that to weakness in the internal mechanism of some of those MDAs. Because, like I said earlier, when you are coming to defend your budget, to present your budget, you start by defending the previous year budget. And most of the agencies couldn't meet up with that. For example, NECO came up with that evidence of remittance of so much money generated by that agency. Whereas JAMB came up with evidence of remittance of over 4 billion. Do you understand? And NECO generates more money than JAMB. So we insisted that he goes back to bring to us the evidence of remittance of such money over 20-something billion that they generated for 1 year, which he did, and at the end of the day, we had to pass the budget. So it is mainly, I can call it administrative weakness in the internal system.
So, in other words, you're saying that when an agency fails to meet up, one of the, apart from asking them to go and come back, what other measures is the Senate putting in place to ensure that we don't have a repeat, in subsequent budget defense? In the course of that, to have to reprimand some of those MDAs and ministries that didn't do well. But we believe that it's a learning process. Nobody knows it all. Some of the ministers are new. Some of the DGs are new, in their offices. So we believe, like I said, this is a corrective Senate. We are not interested in blaming anybody, but we're interested in correcting the people to do the right thing, all geared towards giving Nigerians the good governance that President Tinubu promised. Talking about giving Nigerians the good governance that this administration has promised, as a senator representing Ebonyi North Senatorial District, what are those things? What measures are you putting in place to uplift or improve the living standard of your people as well as generality of Nigerians?
Well, I must tell you that my mandate here as a senator representing Ebonyi North is to improve the living standard of my people. That is my primary assignment. By attracting democracy dividends, by giving them effective representation, which I must hit my chest and tell you that I'm doing very well. In the area of infrastructure, as I'm speaking to you, I have in the previous budget over 10 kilometers of road. And I'm going to make available the videos of some of the roads because the contractors are doing well. And considering the soil texture of our area, we prefer to do concrete road, which have the lifespan of not less than 50 years. So I'm doing 11 kilometers of such concrete roads. I'll make the videos available to you. So outside that, I've also done a lot of youth empowerment and women empowerment. Just last month, January, 5th of January 2025, I did a very massive empowerment. I distributed 20 tricycles. I distributed 20 minibuses. I distributed also 150 agro processing machine, which will help our mothers in the rural areas to set up, micro businesses. And I must tell you, the testimonies are everywhere. Most of those youths I gave the keke and the minibuses, they are doing very well. The testimonies are there. I can share some of the pictures with you. In fact, one told me that he used to make not less than 50,000, in a day. So you can imagine that if somebody that was out of job for quite a long time gets this type of support, it means that you've given the person hope. So in that area, I must tell you, I've done so well. In the area of human development, I have a scholarship trust fund, wherein every year I roll out 50 million naira to pay the fees of some of the indigenous students within my constituency and beyond, because the 2024 scholarship disbursement cut across almost all the states of the Federation, because I got about 9 students schooling at the Efuna in Ebonyi State. Some come from Ogun State, from different parts of the country, but they were stranded due to inability to foot their bills. I was able to accommodate them because they are all Nigerians, and these are medical students at their clinical stages. So we have done much in that area, and this year, by the grace of God, by ending of this month or first week of March, I will be rolling out another 50 million for this year's tuition. Now, after that, I've also done what I call housing for widows and indigent people. I do 3-bedroom apartment for indigent people. These ones are my personal project. They are not in the budget. This is what I do with whatever I get as salary and allowances as a senator. And last year, I was able to do 10 3-bedroom bungalows, which my Lord, the Bishop of Abeg Diocese, came and blessed one. The wife of the governor, by next 2 weeks, will be going from local government to local government, commissioning some of these projects. And I must tell you, this project is very, very wonderful and heart-touching. Imagine a widow that was living in a thatch house, who pull down the thatch house, do a modern house, and after that, we empower her with 500,000 naira just to change their life and change their narrative. So that we've done. Outside that, I'm also going into installation of solar street lights within our market areas to extend business time and to improve security in the area. And I must tell you, my people are in love with this solar light program because they were in dark before now. If you go to the rural area in the night, everywhere is dark. But with this solar light, they see life, they see light, and you know, light is life. It have extended their business time and also made them happier, you know, living in the rural areas. So these are some of the things we've done. Outside that, most importantly, agriculture is the key. Agriculture is the way to think towards now, going by what is happening in Nigeria oil sector. I've also came up with an idea of empowering, you know, our people annually with farm inputs. I give them rice seedlings, I give them herbicides, and I also give them fertilizers because Ebonyi State is predominantly agrarian people. And the testimonies are all over the place. The people are empowered early last year. Some got 20 bags of rice, some got 50 bags of rice.
From their produce.
Yes, and today, going by the cost of rice in the market, somebody that has 20 bags of rice is already a millionaire. And this year, I'm going to do same.
Well, we say kudos to the work done so far. What will be your take on constituency projects? That has, for a very long time, ignited debate among Nigerians because for some Nigerians, they feel that these monies are given to lawmakers. There has been, you know, so much debate on constituency projects.
Wow.
So you have done this on your own.
Yes.
What would you say about this argument that has been on about constituency projects? A lot of people do not understand what it means when they say constituency project. And do you think it should be sustained or scrapped?
Well, constituency project is a welcome development and it must be sustained. I must tell you, it's a very good initiative. It gives us sense of belonging. It gives us opportunity to have something to show for our people. For me as a person, I believe that what is meant for my people should go to my people, even though we are not engaged in the execution of the project.
Exactly.
So when people, you know, call lawmakers' names on constituency project, I think they are missing the ball. What they should direct that critics to the executive that actually execute the job, because our own is to nominate, you know, the areas those projects will be cited. We are not part of the procurement process. We are not part of the awarding of the contract.
And the monies are not given
The monies are not given to us. The monies are paid to the contractors. Our own is to supervise them by virtue of oversight. And that is what we do. And I am telling you the testimonies of what is happening in my own constituency. The concrete roads are ongoing. You can go there and see it. The street lights are all there. The housing for widows are all there. The farmers empowerment are all there. Testimonies are bound. You know, so it's a welcome development. And I want to submit that anybody who is talking against constituency project is an enemy of democracy.
Okay, so during one of the outings in Kano, I know that you talked about state police, and for you were not in support of that. And that also has been a lingering debate. We have had people speaking for and against state police. Some are saying, because of the level of insecurity in the country, perhaps what Nigeria needs at this point is to have state police, just like, back in the days when we had like district people, local police men. But you were against, having state police. Would you mind sharing why you think state police isn't right for Nigeria?
Well, the problem we have in this country is that we're good at creating more agencies, which at the end of the day will be difficult, if not impossible, to be properly funded. Why I disagree with the state police is that I believe that the Nigerian police force is capable and competent to give us adequate security in this country. What they are lacking is manpower. And I think instead of creating a state police, why can't we enlarge the Nigerian police, by giving them opportunity to employ more men, give them more training, increase their welfare. They can give us what we want. I don't think state police is the problem. The problem is managing what we have. So let us empower the Nigerian police. They will give us what we want. But two things must be done. Let's pay them better. Let's increase their number. When we do that, you see that they are ready to deliver in terms of securing us both internally and externally. The state police, why I disagree also with the state police, there is likelihood of it being abused because of our level of intellectual maturity. The purport, the aim of constituting the state police will be abused.
Why do you think it will be abused? Just like I cited, back in the olden days, we didn't need that.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
These men.
Let me tell you why.
Okay, go ahead.
In my state, we had what we call, before now, we had what was called the bubago. Before the 2023 election, some people went to court that the bubago should be disbanded and they should not be part of the election. They won in court. They adduced their reasons. Because some of these people, without the instruction of the chief executives, were using it to impress one politician or the other. If you are seen as an opposition, a very viable opposition, one politician will, assuage them and they will come after you without the knowledge of the chief executive. But you can't do that for Nigerian police force because there is chain of command.
And it is that chain of command that a lot of people feel they have to decentralize it.
No. Let me tell you something.
Sometimes, they have to take, if there is an issue now, they will tell you they need to get clearance from.
It is not true. It is not true. It's not true. For example, in my state today, my governor is working very well with the Commissioner of Police. And the Commissioner of Police doesn't joke with the instruction of my governor. Because by law, as empowered him by the Constitution of Federal Nigeria, the governor of the state is the chief security officer of that state. So the police is there to serve the state. So if there is a genuine reason for a governor to give instruction to the Commissioner of Police, that Commissioner of Police must execute that order without reference to the IGP. So anybody who is saying that is just.
But in some states, your state, it is working in Ebonyi, but you can't say that for sure for other states.
It is working in other states. If you have personal problems, then bring it on board. But you can't tell me that, for example, there is crisis in a particular community, and you place a call to the Commissioner of Police. If you give the police the support, they will move to the place. But in most cases, we may not give the police the necessary support. For example, patrol van. If they don't have patrol van, how will they trek for a kilometer of 20 kilometers within some seconds?
So should the citizens bear that burden?
The state government should support them because they are inadequately funded from the national level. That's what I'm talking about. They should be properly funded.
And you're going back to the point I was making, that probably breaking it down to having, state police where state executives can be responsible for them would maybe help.
We'll create more harm. We'll create more harm by doing that. We'll get there. But as at today, Nigeria have not gotten to that level. It will be abused, and I stand by that.
All right. You also talked about creation of states, which has been also, on the front burner for so many years now. Of course, people have spoken for and against that. Also, we have 36 states at the moment and the FCT. And for some, quite frankly, they feel there is no need for creating more states. But you are advocating for more states, even though we have 36 states and FCT.
Yes, I strongly advocate for at least additional one state for the Southeast.
Just one state?
Yes, and I have my reasons. If you go to Northwest, they have about 7 states, if not more. If you go to North Central, they have 6 states. If you go to Southeast, Southwest, they have 6 states. South, they have 6 states. What is the offense of Southeast? Southeast has only 5 states. And these are the problems we are facing. It's a social injustice. Southeast is an integral part of this country. Whether you like it or not, we control the economy of this country. And we are the true Nigerians. If you go to Kano, you see Igbo community. If you go to Samvara, you see Igbo community. If you go to Lagos, you see, of course, 80% Igbos. So we believe in Nigeria. So, but some people are still treating Igbos as if we have committed any crime in this land. When our forefathers fought for Biafra, they had their reasons. But with the new generation, we are saying that there's no need for that war in the first place. And we shouldn't be punished for the sins of our fathers. If other geopolitical zones has at least 6 states, why not give Southeast additional 1 state? We deserve the additional 1 state. We'll have the population, we'll have the landmass, we'll have the resources to even sustain the state. For example, if you go to Anambra, the GDP of Anambra, go and juxtapose with the GDP of our country, Nigeria. If you create another state in Southeast, it can fund itself.
But you know that state creation goes through a process. I'm glad you're a
Of course, we have a procedure for that.
There is a procedure for that.
Yes.
And over the years, during constitutional amendments, for 4 years, you have the committee receives, inputs from several groups in Nigeria asking for more states, and in some cases, lawmakers even promise them that will be done, but at the end of the day, say 99 till date,
yes,
not even 1 state.
That's why I'm asking, what is our offense?
So do you not just for North, not just for Southeast now?
Yes.
Several other states, we've had people coming from Benue, Kaduna, different parts of the country asking for additional states. Some have mentioned marginalization, some based on ethnicity and all of that. Now, what efforts have you done or started? Have you started any process now that you're in the Senate to ensure that an additional state is created?
Yeah, of course. We already have the bill on ground. What we're waiting for is for the Constitutional Amendment Review Committee, to start, which I believe by the end of this quarter, that committee will start visiting the zones where the issues will be made more elaborate. And I must tell you, if there is any zone in this country that is agitating for additional state, Southeast should be treated as number 1. It is a fact that is speaking for itself. Other zones has a minimum of 6. Some have 7. What is the offense of Southeast? But even at that, we are doing well. We are not complaining. And that takes us to the presidency.
Okay.
What is the offense of an Igbo man not being allowed to be the president of Nigeria? But whether you like it or not, whether you give us presidency or not, somebody said one day we are going to buy Aso Rock because we have the resources.
You talk about giving presidency. We are a politician, and we all know that in politics, you are not giving, you take.
Yes.
So what are you people waiting for?
Well, like I said earlier, we must admit some areas who failed it, like in the last election. Some of us that saw tomorrow were telling them that President Tinubu is the next president of Nigeria. In view of his records that is speaking for him, starting from when, even before he became the governor of Lagos State, he's a true Democrat who fought military dictatorship and restored democracy. So people like us trusted in him and we believe in his capacity. And I'm happy today he's proving all his critics wrong. You can remember when he removed fuel subsidy, people were criticizing him. It appears as if heaven is going to fall. But today, the price of PMS is coming down.
when you talk about coming down,
Yes.
lots of Nigerians would ask.
It's coming down.
It is coming down.
Yes.
At about 9 something, which is fluctuating because
Yes.
at last week it was 1,050 naira in some filling stations.
Yes.
Now Nigerians would ask you this question. When this administration came on board, fuel was 190 something, 194, 196. Now we bought fuel in this country like up until like last month,
You remember
8,000 plus.
You remember that fuel is a global commodity. The
is.
price is not controlled by our country, Nigeria. It is being controlled in the global market. And let me tell you something. Go to Niger here and go and find out how much is a liter of fuel. Go to US, United States of America, find out how much is a liter of fuel. Then when you come back, you'll sing national anthem again.
A typical Nigerian would also argue with you that we have this crude.
US has the crude. Saudi Arabia has the crude. Compare the price, then you get back to me.
You talked about Nigeria. That's why I'm
No, yeah, but
Nigeria would reply you that we have this crude.
Yes.
So why are we? I'm glad some refineries are.
Why the
beginning
prices are going
to
high
function now.
is two things. Two things are responsible. I told you it's a global commodity. The cost of production and inflation, which is happening in the global market. So these are the two things that is making the price of PMS to go high. But what President Tinubu did that will definitely continue to bring down the prices of PMS in Nigeria is to encourage other refineries to come up. Like Warri Refinery is on board. Kaduna Refinery will soon start if they have not started. And so many others. Dangote is there. There is competition. That is what we want. And I've always described President Tinubu as a man who looks outside the box. If you look at his policies and programs, yes, it may be painful at the onset, but this is what we must do to revive the economy. We can't revive the economy by lamentation or by criticism. We must take some bold economic steps to revive the economy. And that is what he's doing. Do you know how much we were removing in the name of first subsidy? It was much, my dear sister.
Are you categorically saying that subsidy is completely off?
It's completely off. If it's not off, give me your facts. But I'm telling you that it's completely off. And we are using the money to fix our roads. Look at what it's doing. The Lagos-Calabar road. When that road is completed, you have opened door economically for Nigerians. Look at Badagry-Sokoto Highway. You know what it means? That corridor alone is another economic prosperity for Nigeria. Look at Calabar, Ebonyi, Abuja Road, connecting south, southeast, connecting Nigeria. That is what Nigerians need. When you put the basic infrastructure, Nigerians are very hard-working people. We can survive. That is what we want. Okay, look at the tax reform policy of the president. Many Nigerians were attacking him because it's coming from President Bola Tinubu, without understanding the nitty-gritty of this tax bill. And to me, I've taken my time to study this bill, and I know it's going to bring the total change we want in our economy. One, is going to shift the tax burden from the poor and place it on the bourgeoisie. You agree with me that when you buy beer now, they charge you VAT. When you go to a restaurant to eat, they charge you VAT. But you're not supposed to pay VAT on consumables. It is that big man that want to buy SUV that should pay VAT. But today, the poor are being charged to pay VAT. But by that tax reform law, it will shift the burden completely from the poor. Every consumable goods will be free from taxation and place it on the bourgeoisie. That is how to grow an economy. So that a businessman that has less than or about 50 million profit annually is exempted from paying tax. That old woman that goes to the market to sell her vegetable and cassava will be exempted from paying tax. Do you understand? That is what we are talking about. And that is what President Tinubu is doing. And we must commend him, we must support him, and we are ready as the 10th Senate, in fact, the entire National Assembly, to back him to make sure that this bill succeeds.
You know, again, when you talk about the 10th Assembly being behind him and to ensure that he succeeds, some Nigerians have described this present assembly as rubber stamp.
We are not
Do you
rubber
agree?
stamp. No, that is not true.
Why do you say you're not? Because their argument is this: if you check through the pages of the newspaper, is that whatever comes from Mr. President passes.
It's not true. I can start with his ministerial nominees. We turned down 3 ministerial nominees of Mr. President. Until today, those people were not confirmed because we are independent. We have our reasons. In the course of screening the ministers, we found these 3 Nigerians incompetent to be ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And not minding the pressure from the presidency, we turned it down. More so, watch what transpired in the course of budget presentation. If you are not ready to defend your budget satisfactorily, we turn it down. We ask you to go and come back. The writing must be done. If you were rubber stamped, we would have taken it even without looking at it. So, talks is cheap, but the truth is that the 10th Assembly is out to cooperate with the executive. Cooperating with the executive does not mean that we are compromising on our fundamental duties as Parliament. We are not doing that. The eye is on the ball. Thank you.
And then finally, before I let you go on this program, you talked about, the tax reform bill, which you said is a welcome development. Another issue I would want us to look at is revamping our industries.
Yes.
Before now, we've had, industries that are working, especially I can give examples here in the north. We've had textiles, down your place, we have coal and all of that. But today,
even some of the steel industries,
exactly,
like Ajokuta,
rolling
steel plants,
steel mill and all of that. Now, none is functioning. Are you, as part of this administration, though you're a lawmaker, is there any plans to ensure that these moribund industries are revamped?
Yes, we are working seriously towards that. And you can see recently, Mr. President set up a committee to review what is happening at Ajokuta, industry. So, and so many of them that you mentioned were also in that memo sent to us by Mr. President. And in no time, all those industries will be revived. Particularly in my state, we have a Unisem cement industry that was serving the entire Southeast and Southwest in terms of cement production. So it is among all those things that have been articulated by the present administration to make sure that those industries are revived. One, it will help our economy. It will also create jobs for our teaming unemployed youth. So you can see that President Tinubu is really working around the clock, to shift Nigeria from where we are to the next level of progress and economic prosperity.
Well, Senator Peter Nwebonyi, I must thank you very much for coming on the program, and best of luck as you continue in this your job as a lawmaker representing Ebonyi North Senatorial District.
Thank you, my dear sister. My pleasure. Thank you.
That's our package for today. Thank you for watching. We will see you again same time next week.